Impact. This is Everyday Struggle. I'm Nadeska here with my guys Wayno and DJ Akademiks. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I feel good this morning. My man Ak gave me some good energy on the walk-in.
What?
You ain't give me no, you gave good energy when you walked in
yeah,
earlier.
I did, man. I'm coming like LeBron these days, man. Like LeBron.
He on that bullshit. He forgot what he did already.
Yeah.
I forgot I actually showed love this morning.
Yeah.
All right,
anyway, man, it's Thursday, man. I'm just glad to get this week over with, man. Next week, I'm back with a whole new energy, man. But this week, I've been fucked up, man.
Yeah.
I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
It's the day, just all over the place.
Yeah.
Get my life together. Okay?
Get your life together. Black next week, too? All black next week?
We're black all the time. Bruh. Like,
Ninja man.
Yeah, man, I wear black all the time. Listen, man, y'all lucky I be mixing it up when y'all see a white stripe here and there. I keep telling you.
Mixing it up.
This is
that's like really like color coding and matching, man. That's as much as you gonna get.
Academic style icon. All right, let's get into it. So we had some tech difficulties this morning. We might be a little bit late, but we're still here, and we're gonna start with Drake. So look, if you guys thought he was gonna postpone this album, it's not happening. He announced that Scorpion's coming June 29th, and he dropped a new video for I'm Upset. Let's take a look.
Hey, this is real life. Niggas think we playing chess. So what's next? Jump up out the bed like I'm possessed. I go out on tour and I say I'm drinking less. End up getting loose and getting pictures from my ex. SMS, triple X. That's the only time I ever shoot below the neck. Why you keep on shooting if you know that nigga dead? That's the only kind of shit that get.
All right, so for all the Degrassi fans, of course, the cast reunited. I know Chops is excited about this one. Guys, what do you think? I knew you watched it. Well, I know you didn't. Did you watch Degrassi growing up?
Hell no, man. This shit trash, man.
Jesus,
I ain't
Eric.
trying to hear none of this from Drake. The song garbage. Like it's his first mistake as. Well, actually, his first mistake is not responding to Pusha T, but this one's a mistake just by putting it out. I don't know why he did that. The song don't sound good.
His first mistake in his career, you think?
No, the first
that's
mistake this
what
year. Like
this year.
As I said, we forgave him for the Lemon remix or whatever. Like
Right.
that was garbage. But this was just flat out unimpressive. It was mediocre. It didn't even come across to me like, oh, I'm making a radio single. It just came across as, I think this is how. It don't sound good. The video, I get it if you into Degrassi and if you into like his upbringing and where he came from. Like I guess it's cool, but the song's whack. So I'm not impressed by nothing with this. Period.
Okay. Well, I agree with you that I wasn't a fan of the song. It sounds like something that he just threw out or something that got leaked.
You've been singing this shit since I came.
Yeah, because this shit is in my mind.
I'm like,
He did it.
Yeah, this shit is in my mind. Like you keep hearing that shit over. Now, don't try to see it. You see this guy, man? He got a lot of bullshit.
He was over here doing the Drake.
Yeah, I was having fun this morning. But one thing that I did love about the video was Jay and Silent Bob. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Dogma or the movie Jay and Silent Bob. What is they in Clerks too? They was in the movie Clerks. If people know, like that's like a comedy cult fan favorite, Jay and Silent Bob. So that's the only thing I did like about it. I've never seen an episode of Degrassi in my fucking life. Ever.
It's not a bad video. I think you said
I've seen little meme joints and like little joints where like he got shot.
I've never seen an episode ever.
I think it was Degrassi when he was like grabbing another nigga's ass. I don't know, man. This shit was weird. But anyway.
Whoa.
Y'all never seen that on Instagram, bro?
I don't know what that has to do with anything though.
What I'm saying is that's the only part of I think that's Degrassi I've seen.
Like
there's one where he's
asses this morning.
There's one where he's in a wheelchair. I've seen a little clip of that. Another one where like he's running, he gets shot. I've seen a clip of that.
Yeah, I seen that.
And another one where he's following some random kid somewhere and then he tries to do something that's a little weird. I've seen a clip of that. That's the only thing I've seen.
What a summary.
There is nothing I would want to watch at Degrassi. When did Degrassi even come out? Let's keep it real. Like somebody update me. That's some Disney Channel shit, right?
I don't know. But you know what? Like the first time I ever like started really getting into Drake, I was telling my little sister about Drake, and when she seen the picture of him, she's like, "That's Jimmy from Degrassi." Yeah. Like she didn't even know nothing about his music or him rapping. She's like, he did rap on the show, but
yeah, look, even if you guys don't personally enjoy the song, it does seem to be streaming well still. So maybe that's why you thought it made sense to put out the video.
Everything about him it's not really streaming that well compared to his other songs.
Of course, not compared to the other, but still doing pretty well.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's keep it 100. Like
start competing with yourself when you're always number one.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
well, when Yes Indeed is doing better, I don't know.
That's a great.
Well, Drake could do anything. It's like he can do anything and do well. I feel like any type of record he drops, his fan base is just gonna overly support it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not on. I'm hoping this ain't on Scorpion. I'm hoping Nice for What ain't on Scorpion.
Cut it out. Nice for
That
What
doesn't
has
even
to
make
be on.
sense.
Just
I'm hope. Listen,
You're nice for what, hater?
Wait, hold on.
You are nice
What do you mean that doesn't make
Hater.
sense? If you look at Drake's rollout a lot of times, usually that first song you hear or like that first two, sometimes they don't make the album.
I get it, but you personally don't like
You know
the
why?
song.
Because those songs live on the charts for so long. By the time you get the album, that shit's played out. You might throw it as a bonus. Yeah, because it'll get the streaming numbers, but it's definitely not featured in like the.
But you said you don't want Nice for What on there?
No, I'm hoping it's like, I'm thinking about the vibe, right?
Yeah.
I want that God's Plan vibe, bro. I don't want to hear. I don't even want this I'm upset garbage on it.
Fine, we understand you don't want I'm upset, but you don't want nice for what?
Yeah.
On there with God's plan? Cut it out.
Yeah, they fit together. They're two sides of the coin.
No, it's like
No.
one of them is have one different message. The other one is just some pandering bullshit. And if Drake's
He
on
said pandering.
Respect the women. Respect the women. No.
100%. But y'all know when niggas is pandering. If that's not pandering.
Come on, dog.
But
It's Drake.
Look. It was well executed, though. You got to give it to him.
No, it's well executed. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
You are mad at it. You in
pandered
fact
well.
said that you don't want that.
Shot the whole
bullshit
video
on
and
it.
he's in like 2 clips. He got every black
Wait,
woman
so
on
you
earth
want
to
to
put on
see
it.
more of Drake? Is that what
No,
you're saying?
what I'm saying
Yeah,
is
he wants
that
to see
if
more
y'all
Drake.
can't identify what pandering is, y'all are in the sunken place.
No, I understand what you're saying.
That is definitely,
I
when
completely
somebody's pandering
understand.
to me, I understand. Now, sometimes you don't mind it and you might even appreciate it because the song ain't bad.
But he executed well. That's all I'm saying. Even though, even if he is,
He executed everything
Tastefully.
right. And by the way, I'm not a hater for Nice or What. I'm just, you see, I just hate stuff when I feel like I'm being pandered to. But I still like the song.
Not a hater, but I hate stuff.
Really more the beat than the, really more
Not a hater, but I hate
really
stuff.
the beat more the actual words. But this I'm upset filth, this garbage,
Okay.
I don't like it one bit.
All right.
It's coming out at the wrong time. Just seeing Aubrey walk through the little hallway, all I could see is the fucking the fucking residue of defeat from Pusha T on his face. It just don't look right. It don't look right, man. I don't think right now this is not the best look for OVO. You're not upset. You're sad. Okay.
Wow.
Are you surprised he didn't push the album past June?
Nah. I knew it would come out this month. I mean, it would look even worse if he pushed it back. And why would he push it back? Like, his records are doing great.
Yeah.
The only thing is this whole stigma and probably perception that Pusha T created that he took an L. But why would you push your album back? People are only going to speculate more.
He did take it.
But people are only going to speculate more. Like, oh, that's why he's, you know what I mean? So put out your songs. I can imagine that album's been done from whatever. I'm not sure if June 29th is the original date, but shit. Let it rock, June.
Yeah, June 29th, and then like with Nicki's coming right after that in August, so like 2 weeks later.
Yeah,
There's definitely a July. Like, it's like June. And
Oh shit!
There's
I'm
definitely
thinking,
a
why did
July.
I think?
It's Thursday.
I
It's
skipped
been a
the whole
long-
month.
Yeah, my man's
It's been a
There's
long
no
week.
judgment out here.
I got slandered crazy.
That's a New York calendar right there. June,
August.
right.
Right. Damn, I forgot a whole month.
Nah, but yeah,
Damn, man.
I'm anticipating the album though. I'm anticipating the album. I did hear. This is what I heard. There's some real through the grapevine stuff. I got a little snippet of some stuff that is to come. I won't tell you how I got it, but I hear, all right, and I'm gonna just put it out there now that there is a response to Pusha T coming on this album. And from what I heard, everything Jay Prince is saying, it's not exactly. He didn't tell Drake don't put it out. Apparently, he heard the record and he told Drake, you gotta tone this down. It's way too vulgar. And from what I hear, the record was changed, re-recorded, but there's a lot of parts and references still kind of kept in there. It's definitely not as disrespectful, but I hear it's coming on Scorpion. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Act. Espionage
What
act.
you mean espionage? It's called leaking information. It's called journalism, okay? Now, I
You a
could be
journalist
wrong.
now?
I ain't no fucking journalist.
All right, then, so what the fuck
I
is
am a
espionage
ghetto-
act?
I'm a ghetto journalist.
Ghetto journalist.
Because I don't
You
like...
definitely a motherfucking ghetto journalist. I ain't gonna hold you.
And
But-
you think this is cool that it's coming on the album? Because remember, you said if he hadn't responded by the weekend, it's over, et cetera, et cetera. Is it cool that he's not going to respond essentially a month later on this project?
It's not going to change the perception of the battle or whatever. And if I'm Pusha T, I hear it and I'll probably just like drop a laugh emoji no matter what he says. But it does something probably to regain Drake's like he has a little
gotta get his
macho.
name back.
Yeah, he got that little.
But wait.
He has a little swag when he's rapping and boasting. And if you just got your ass whipped, you can't really walk outside just talking that shit.
So what if he
until you
drops
release-
this song on the album and then Pusha responds again
All right, now
with
it's back
another
lit.
crazy
Now
diss?
it's
Then
back
what?
lit.
That was back lit. But again, if I'm Pusha, I'm almost using your rules against you. Like, yo, this is over. I moved on to other things, and you're too late. Really, I already won. Like, you don't engage with a nigga already lost. Basically, he's pulling up for a rematch.
Yeah, but you know, the OVO The OVO Hive is gonna go crazy. They're gonna say it's the best diss song ever without even hearing it. They're just gonna see the title and be like, oh, it's over for him.
And by the way, the I'm gonna just say the rumor that I just announced kind of coincides, even though this guy is a liar, with Martin Shkreli. There was rumors.
That guy's still alive? Isn't he in prison?
Yeah,
What is going on?
But apparently he got sent a track to his office. I don't know what the office in jail.
Stop it. He has the Drake
He has an
track.
office
Cut
in
it
jail?
out.
You know, I used to think he was a liar until he played me some of Wayne Carter 5.
I don't know if he's a liar. He's just a scumbag.
Yeah, well, okay, definitely that.
Yeah.
But he apparently said he got a couple tracks, so maybe we got the same.
I don't believe nothing he says,
What?
man.
No, man. Again, with the music, I wasn't gonna believe it, and he has lied before.
All right.
But he did play some unreleased tracks that were from Wayne Carter 5.
Well, how do we know they're from Wayne Carter 5? They could be from anywhere. Like,
Well, the record company sent a cease and desist and referred that they were the tracks that he played were tracks to be included in an upcoming Wayne release. So I don't know. Anyway,
we shouting that dude out way too much.
I know.
Yeah, if this Drake track comes out, we will see. All right. But I don't want to hear no watered down diss, man. Yo, let me hear the raw shit. I would pay for the raw shit.
You pay for
Okay?
the project?
Just saying, if Pusha responds again,
And watch
shit's gonna
it.
get weird.
Yeah, because you know, you got Duppy freestyle tattoo behind your neck. Like,
You're talking about chops. He's in her ear.
no, you don't front. You was a big Duppy fan.
Yeah, because it's fire.
Yeah.
And it's still fire to me. You get me? No. Like, let me tell you this, man.
You
on
haven't
this
listened
album,
to it
on this album, no, I have. Yo,
When the last time you listened to Duppy freestyle act?
I listened to it 3 days ago with a box of Kleenex because I couldn't believe this man put this out and then still got washed. Okay? I couldn't believe it.
Good
not
deflection.
believe it.
Good deflection.
And no, but I still stand by what I said about that thing, man. Like, it's better bars, bro. It's better bars, more clever. I love the cleverness of it. However, in a diss, beef, whatever we're gonna call this, when somebody outs you for being almost a deadbeat dad and you feed into all the
You
memes,
get upset.
You
You get upset.
might get upset. The only way Drake has to formally introduce his child and baby mother to the world, basically show the world that he hasn't been hiding it, and then clap back at Pusha T and try to expose something equally or way worse. And also call him a bitch or something like that. They gotta say something, or just say fuck you. Like, you need a fuck you in there, you know what I mean? You know when somebody says something to you and just like kills you, and the only good comeback is fuck you.
Or your mother.
Yeah. Nah, leave Pusha's mom out of that. I don't want to know where Pusha
No, I'm just saying, that's the only thing that gets people riled up.
Yeah.
All right, so Scorpion coming June 29th. I'm sure we're going to get some more songs before that. Right. Now on to Wiz Khalifa. So he's on a press run for his Rolling Papers 2 project. So he did an interview with V103 in Atlanta, and they asked if he would ever work with Kanye because, of course, he got the shout out on Ye. This is what he had to say.
How's that situation? Y'all have a relationship? Y'all cool?
Nah, we don't talk.
Not at all?
No.
Twitter beef is squashed, though?
There's no beef. It was just, him going crazy.
Just yay being yay.
Him being him.
Yay being yay.
Yeah.
Would you ever want to do a song with him?
I don't know. I don't like to base my opinion on people off of other people's opinion or like just things that could be, miscommunicated.
Right.
I love his beats.
Okay.
Yeah. Love his beats.
Good enough.
Yo, shout out to Wiz. What a cool dude. All right, so of course you remember they had a little back and forth on Twitter a couple years ago, 2016, and when Kids See Ghost dropped, Wiz tweeted, "Whoa, Cudi, great album." Of course, not shouting out Kanye in the tweet. Are you guys surprised that he still feels this way after what happened?
He used to mess with his baby moms, like his former wife. Like, there's got to be, it's always going to be something lingering in there. He's not going to say it. Of course he's not going to say it. He's not with her no more. But there's always going to be a little, like, funny shit said on his side, on his behalf. Like, I'm not surprised that he doesn't, not saying, yeah, yo, do me a 7-track album too. Like, I need that. Nah, fuck out of here.
I don't know. Wiz is a very nice guy. He don't really give off negative energy like that, but it's the first time I ever looked at him kind of talking around this issue, and I could see it in his eyes, man. He want to beat the brakes off Kanye. Trust me, that nigga been doing some UFC type workout. He already talking about it. He want to get in that UFC shit. He would beat the goddamn MAGA hat out of Kanye West's motherfucking ass. I could see it in his eyes. I could see, you know what it is? There's certain things people say to you, bro, you don't forget, man. And I could tell every question they asked about him and said, this nigga once said I should thank him for my son.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
fuck this nigga, man.
Right.
And I could tell, I'm not congratulating Kanye on shit. Kanye could become if I'm Wiz and I know Kanye went with his weak ass apology after he realized that KK didn't stand for Kim Kardashian.
Right.
It was actually a fucking straight on weed, and he looked pretty stupid when he was saying all that disrespectful shit to Wiz.
Right.
But if I'm Wiz, you know, some shit, man, when you say it, man, it's coming from a genuine place, and that's how you really felt about me.
Right.
So I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, he didn't understand. And I can understand Wiz right now. He's not on some like, yo, let me just keep spreading negative energy about it. But why would I ever want to involve myself with that person, right? Keep in mind that whole thing was that's when he was with Amber, and then basically Kanye just kind of came in on some like, you know how he does with everything.
Yeah.
You know what I
that
mean?
was
You should
crazy.
thank me for your child.
That's crazy.
I'm your father.
Right.
Don't talk to your OGs. And everybody looking at it, it's like, yo,
Yeah, that
what?
was crazy.
Yeah.
It looked crazy. So,
Wiz handled it very well at the time.
yeah. And I agree with Wiz. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, you know, I don't know about y'all. Y'all probably you know what I mean? Like, let's forgive and forget. Let bygones. I hold a fucking grudge. Fuck that nigga, man. You said what? Listen, again, I like how he's doing it. He's not going to come out, and even when Kanye West is saying stuff where people could easily kill him from, he ain't going to come out and be like, man, fuck Kanye. I told you I didn't fuck with him from the get-go.
Right.
But he's just going to
I love his
reserve his
beats.
opinion.
I love his
Yeah,
beats.
like-
and he's not trying to have that energy myself.
My whole thing is that, like, I'm a firm believer in that nothing could be taken back, what you said. Now, people can move forward from certain things, but if a man told me, you should be thankful I gave you a son, I mean, now we know that Wiz is never going to probably put his hands on him, but I have nothing favorable to say to him.
I don't even got kids, and I'm thinking, like, that's crazy.
No, that's really crazy. And the whole thing is, I'm right there with you. I may not hold a grudge, but I'm not fucking with you at all. Like, I just know that we can both exist in this world, and I don't have to be anywhere around you. You don't have to be anywhere around me. We ain't never got to do no music together. Leave it at that. Real shit. And if it came down to it, boy, would Wiz watch Kanye on another level? I told you, I take Muay Thai. Wiz is on some other shit.
Wiz last year, I don't know. Because
last year?
Yeah, but this year, I don't know what he's
He's
on.
a different man.
Nah, listen.
I always thought niggas like Wiz and Snoop couldn't gain muscle mass. I always thought that. I'm sorry. I always thought it. And I've been seeing this nigga Wiz now. This nigga look like, I don't know what he's on, man. That P90X.
You know what he's on? You know what he's on? He's just on.
Yo, he's on that 50 Cent get the strap workout, bro. No lie, man. No cap.
He's
This
just on
nigga's-
good energy. I mean, like, anybody who's ever met Wiz, he's like the nicest person.
It's just all vibes.
very,
Good
very
vibes,
cool.
Yeah.
And I just think, you know, a lot of dudes that's rich, they got to find something to do with their time. And he found a love for training them with MMA. And don't run up on him. You know what I mean? And he's tall as shit.
That is one of my fears, yo.
What?
Like, say you had some type of...
Getting your ass beat by Wiz?
No, get your ass beat by
That would
niggas
be
who know
legendary.
MMA.
Okay.
Oh,
now-
yeah.
Yeah, because pull like this, like, you know how hood niggas fight? You know what I mean? You square up, you throw a couple of punches, then you grapple up and try to slam each other. Imagine a nigga have you in a fucking ankle lock while tickling your ear. Nah, man, I'm done with that.
When did the
I
tickle
can't-
part come in at?
Nah, but yo,
bro.
have you ever seen?
You're being
I've
very
seen
funny this morning.
Yo, I've seen a couple videos on YouTube.
Put
where-
somebody in a leg lock and then tickle
Okay,
their
not
ear.
a tickle ear. But what
That
I
was
mean
crazy.
is, like, they're about to fight,
Pause.
and it's usually a bigger guy looking at a small guy like, I'm about to fuck you up.
Yeah.
And then the guy hit him with some type of submission move, and you're fucking like your neck about to snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling in the
Yo,
world
I'm not
because
gonna
it's not about like brute strength or like who could punch.
It's about being nimble. That would be a great look for you, though. Getting
know
put in a
about
leg
nimble.
lock.
It's
I
just
by
told
about
him,
Wiz.
look, I
Crafty.
told him, come down to the class.
Or somebody
You know what
fucking
I
with
mean?
one of your pressure
Come
spots
down
or
to the
whatever. You
class.
just fall into your knees. I
Yeah,
don't know,
man.
man.
Yeah,
Pressure
jiu-jitsu, all of that shit, man. You want to
Yeah.
stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
Word. We're going to take
Kanye
a team
West is
class.
definitely
Don't worry
number
about it.
one.
Same class together. All of
Then
it.
I'll definitely take a team clap. But Kanye West would definitely get his ass whipped. You know what I mean?
All right, so
Like-
everybody agrees on that. All
Right.
right.
That'd be one time I would say, Kanye, no lipo before this, man. You need all the weight. This nigga can't slam you, okay?
All right,
Lipo, bro.
Thursday Akademiks, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
All right, so of course Meek Mill has been out of prison. He's back on the homecoming tour performing. He just did Summer Jam, having a good time working on music. And Nicki Minaj doing a couple interviews for her album, and Meek keeps coming up. So a few weeks back, while speaking to Zane Lowe, she said, the judge in question did everything I asked of her, so I can't badmouth her. Now, in a new interview with Elle, she touched on this again, saying the judge was very sweet and maternal, and we both cried in her chambers, and she gave him another chance. So look, Meek has responded to this on The Breakfast Club. His take was Nicki just shouldn't say anything about this, period.
Right.
Do you guys think it's kind of funny the way she's addressing this, considering what he's been through?
Absolutely. What's the term? The friend of my enemy is my enemy. You know that she's putting this man in a crazy-ass position where he could potentially be locked away for 2 to 4 years based on, like, the smallest infractions. And to even say anything, like, at this point, damn, Nicki, like, why don't you just drop a diss song or something? That was harsh. Like, I felt like that shit was harsh. That you shouldn't comment on nothing going on with that man. Y'all are not together.
Right.
You don't want to talk about that side of the relationship or what you had with him. Just leave Meek name alone, like, at this point, because that shit just doesn't look good at all.
Yeah.
She's a major figure. That can sway a lot of people's, I mean, it's not the public is not in the courtroom or none of that shit, but that can sway how a lot of people feel about Meek. Like, damn, so is he lying about what he's saying?
I think exactly when you sort of like listen to these quotes and read in, that's what it sounds like she's insinuating.
Well, if you look at it and if you think about the timing of it, I'm wondering when the interview was done. If the interview was done recently, Nicki, you tweeted, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you what's going on currently. Meek Mill got out of jail not because like they're just saying this case is dismissed. Meek Mill is definitely still in the midst of what's going on, right? But a higher court actually allowed him to get out on bail. Now, here's what just happened within the last week. A higher court also ruled we don't have the authority to take that judge off the case, so that judge's still on the case.
Right.
Here's what's gonna happen in the next 2 weeks. Meek has to go back in front of that same judge, Janice Brinkley, same judge again. That judge could say, fuck that higher court that took you out of jail, go back.
Right.
He could get sent back to jail in 2 weeks again. Right. If this is from when she first commented around the Zane Lowe time, maybe she didn't understand the severity and what Meek has been fighting to, number one, get out of jail, because it was a weird time when she did comment about it. Yeah. But if this is an ongoing thing where every time she's asked about the case, she's just saying, oh, well, all I could tell you, the judge was a great lady, and now we're here and we cried together in the chambers, and me and her are cool. Again, I understand, and that's why I had told you guys I thought Nicki was gonna come out with a breakup album. And I thought, number one, that plays well to her fans, but also you understand a woman being in a situation, especially what Meek was going through and being silent, of course people want to hear her side. Right. Feels like she got some animosity for Meek.
Because look, you can have the breakup album, you can talk about your personal issues. This is different. Legal is a whole nother ball game. Yeah, someone's life is on the line here.
100%. But I do believe that she's not thinking, yo, I need to like still hold him down in that regards. I think in her perspective, I held him down enough. And I'm going to just at least give my truth, even though I think for the majority of us, we would say,
no comment.
You don't need to speak on that.
No comment is also an option, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But her name was a little bit brought into it, right? When Meek also brought her name up, but also it was reported that when the judge had said certain things to Meek, like, yo, hey, give me a shout out on a song, leave Rock Nation, and record a song, Boyz II Men on Bended Knees. Apparently, it was a private chamber meeting with Meek, Nicki, and her. So a lot of people were waiting on Nicki to say, all right, Nicki, what happened? Is Meek saying the truth?
Right.
And we didn't think she would ever say, no, I don't know about all that. Or this is all I know, she's great. We never thought that. But these are the things that's making Nicki's comments look a little weird. I don't know why she's actually talking about like
that. Like, I mean, at the point where he's facing whatever he's facing, and it, like you said, it's still lingering, it's still ongoing, and a lot of major people went to bat for him, and she's a major person. Like I said, like that could sway opinions, because it's gonna make people say, well, was it that bad, or like, is she really that bad? Right. It's a larger conversation to be had about all this jail reform shit, and Meek is not the only person
that it affects.
And he's putting the whole shit on him as to be the guy, the face of unfair treatment in the justice system. And for something like that to come out, I think that she should just fall back and be like, yo, listen, I don't got nothing to say about, like, honestly, that's your ex. I ain't got nothing to say about it. Fuck it, I ain't got nothing to say. Because that shit just don't look good.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Honestly, if I'm reading between the lines here, and the multiple times she commented, she's saying this. And I think we're trying not to read in between lines. We're trying to just stay on the surface and why she's saying this. Like, if I read these comments, I know that when I went there pleading for his freedom, I know that the judge spoke to me, very sweet, very maternal. We both cried in her chambers, and she gave him another chance, so I don't know what's going on. She's saying Meek is lying, period. She's saying Meek is lying. She's saying what Meek was saying about whatever, he's lying. And she's also saying it's one of those things, and you know what I mean, I hate to bring up like how when you're in a relationship versus when the relationship is over, she's also kind of throwing a little salt in there to say, all I know, this judge treated him fairly when me and him were together and gave him another chance. She didn't do anything wrong then. That nigga got sent to jail after I dipped. So I don't know what that nigga did. I can't vouch for him now. All I could do, if y'all want me to slander the judge was fair when I was there. But now, me and him not together no more, who knows what he did, right?
You might as well just drop a track.
Drop a statement.
You might as well just drop a track and say something about it at this point, because like that might be the biggest diss record of the year.
Right.
That shit is disheartening for a person you had love for. Even if, let's keep it all the way real. Like, even if Meek was not saying everything that we know it to be, why put him in a position?
Right, you can still say no comment, because this contradicts everything they've said about the judge's character. Sweet and maternal, that's so specific to say she's maternal. It literally contradicts everything we've heard so far.
Yeah, man, I've had vindictive exes, man, and you know what happened? In their mind, everything that bad that happens to me after we break up is because I wasn't with them. And this is how they try to frame it. Yeah, he got another chance, was with me. I don't know who he been hanging out with when he wasn't with me. And after we broke up, but his life went to shit. That's like, we've seen this of Nicki though, not in this context where it's illegal, but Nicki does have that like greatly masked shade that she puts on anyone she doesn't like or feels some type of way about. Unfortunately for Meek, it actually is an indictment about what he's claiming with this judge, and it makes his character look a certain way, which then might affect the judge, because the judge might hear this and be like, okay, so it's not just everybody against me. Right. Nicki co-signed me, and she was there. And Meek, when you come back to court in 2 weeks, I got your ass.
One is not support, and that's why when you go to become a juror, they tell you not. Of course, you can't avoid anything, but they tell you not to read newspapers on the case, nothing but so that you can have a clear mind when you're making these type of decisions. And it's at a point now where we have to question: will this judge be vindictive in her approach, and will she be petty in her approach? And it's like, she doesn't have to say it, but she's a human being. We know that the whole world is going against this woman, and now she has some ammo that she could possibly use in her favor. She should have just fell back and been like, nah, man, I don't got nothing to say about his legal shit. You know?
In addition to Meek possibly being sent back to jail, let's keep in mind this judge, which already shows a conflict of interest, which I'm a little bit baffled why she hasn't been taking on the case. The judge, Judge Janice Brinkley, she already hired a lawyer for a defamation lawsuit against Meek.
Right.
Wow.
So you know what's going to support? Hey, he's out here slandering me in the public. He's saying some shit that happened, that didn't happen. And even the chick that came with him is basically saying, no, I was sweet, maternal, nice, and we cried together and gave him another chance. This nigga's lying and trying to ruin my career. And I do believe at this point for the judge, it's more than, I do think it started as a, hey, you know what, apparently she's from the same neighborhood as me. I think it started as a personal thing. Right? Then it started as a, okay, you're popular, think you're above the law thing. Then it's, wait, you're using your platform to try to defy me type of thing. Now I believe it's for the judge, you are trying to get people to ruin my career. So I believe she feels her career is at risk, right? And I think she's gonna use every ammunition to get back at Meek, whether it's a defamation lawsuit, whether he fucks up again, she's gonna highlight it to the max, and then she's gonna put his ass in jail for a much extended
Let's
period.
pray that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't.
And see, to your point, like, look, we don't know when she did this interview. It could have been around the time she did the Zane Lowe one, which was around April. But yeah, this definitely does not help Meek out. So hopefully things work out okay for him. All right, so I think we're gonna jump ahead to Struggle Exchange, right, Chops? So we're gonna pull up a tweet. One of our questions today actually coincides with the topic. So Big Ray says, are y'all ready for the bombshell? Will the beef between 6ix9ine and Keef escalate, or has 6ix9ine dry snitched himself out of a real threat? All right, so of course these two have been going back and forth, and 6ix9ine has really been taunting him, riding around Chicago recently, taking a page out of 50's book and allegedly taking his baby's moms to the Gucci store. Ak, help us out, please. This is your man. What's happening?
I don't know what he doing. Like,
is he taking it too far at this point? Is this gonna end?
I've been thought he was taking it too far.
Or like,
I told him, I was like, listen, it's like these Chicago dudes, you might want to just stop. I've told him that a million times. Again, I told you what I think. I think he's someone who's obsessed with being the topic of conversation. He's dominated every headline. Some people believe, they're like, oh, you just like covering. He's the biggest story. Like when everyone's glued to their phone, and if y'all admit y'all or not, if you follow, just there was athletes who are like, did he really go to Chicago? You want to know what's going on? It's the same thing with the All-Star Weekend. Wait, he's in LA? Are they following him? It's like a real game of like some zombie catcher shit where it feels like everyone's trying to catch this one guy. I told him, I'm like, yo, you shouldn't be in Chicago. You shouldn't be in Chicago. You shouldn't be beefing with some of these guys. Some of the stuff you're saying, which offends them because it runs very deep for them, and they've lost hundreds of people towards some of the senseless violence there. You don't want to provoke it, especially when you think about the origin of why they're beefing in the beginning.
Yeah.
It shouldn't go there.
Right.
But agitating the situation to say, you know what, I'm going to go one up to show you guys are soft, coming to your city. Then I'm coming to one of your most dangerous blocks, and I'm going to show you guys that you guys ain't about shit. Yeah, you're going to agitate people. Right. I do believe that he looks at 50 for some of that inspiration in how would 50 handle it.
It seems
and
like that.
When you see like him flying out Chief Keef's baby
yeah.
mama, you know what I mean? Again, that's also dangerous as well. But you know what? I will say this. I'm not awarding him the W for the baby mama thing. I think when 50 did, a lot of people say, oh shit, 50's like a savage or whatever. And I told him, I'm like, you fucked up, bro. Like, if you're flying out somebody's baby mama because of some rap beef, number one, you should be very aware that if you start messing with people's family, Drake got egg on his face. And he not flying out nobody, he probably would though. But still, once you go across that line into family, you're now prepared for shit to escalate to however.
Yeah, to however.
But the baby mama thing to me was stupid. I know TMZ ran an article saying he dropped $75,000 at the Gucci store. It looked like he bought a fanny pack, okay? It was a Gucci fanny pack. Still, no matter how much money.
Good for her then, I guess.
Yes. Still, no matter how much it is. What I will say is that you're not supposed to spoil the baby mama, because Chief Keef don't give a fuck about the baby mama. You're supposed to spoil the child. You get me? Like, if you're trying to highlight he's a deadbeat dad, you spoil the child.
Getting kids involved.
So yeah, so
but that's what it is. Like, why would you fly the baby mama out? Like,
yeah.
The point you're trying to make by flying her out is actually nothing. Like, the chick is a former porn star that's not even confirmed to be the Chief Keef's baby mama. Chief Keef even said on Instagram, I don't really care about that. What are you trying to hurt my feelings?
Well, the thing is this, right? If we're talking, she said he don't do nothing for his kids. So even if he would have did something for the kids, you think he gives a fuck? Like, he doesn't care. Like, Chief Keef doesn't care about none of this shit. The basis of this whole shit is the levels of disrespect, because for one thing, we've never seen none of the Chicago guys get into, like, they only beef with each other, really. And we always see how that ends. Somebody passes away. Like, it's happened time in and time out. We've never seen them beef with another person. So I think the Chicago guys is really thrown off by his whole approach. And the cost of life is cheap in America. Like, if you ever watch any of the shows that show murders and shit, people die over nothing every day. Those kids don't care about killing. They don't care about going to jail. And I just think it's like, it's not a smart thing, because you're antagonizing them at the end of the day. That's not gangster. You know, like, that's not gangster. The smart part about 6ix9ine is that he just knows how to fucking get the best promotion in the world without no music. Like, we haven't had a conversation. I don't think I've ever had a real conversation about his music, ever.
Is it necessarily promotion, or just being in the headlines for a lot of things that people condemn him for? Because if we're going to say promotion, I would imagine that you're promoting something.
Right. Well,
he's not promoting
the promotion is himself. Like, the whole thing is he's promoting himself, which he's not really.
So you're trying to say it's the first musician promoting more of his brand.
Oh, yeah, more of it is, because it's like, even when 50 did this shit or whatever, 50 had the song Tia Told Me, and he had none of this.
Or people locking him out of shows where they're scared to book him at the time because they think things will escalate. That's the thing here. He's like promoting his brand but hurting his brand and his money at the same time.
Hey,
It
I would
seems.
warn all of these, any rapper in the United States, all these gangster rappers or whatever, don't beef with Tekashi. And the reason why I'm saying that is that he's gonna make you look stupid.
Yeah, he is.
Like,
Yeah.
the whole Chicago thing even makes some people who had this thought about Chicago, like rappers and everything, look a certain type of way, because this guy, he matches social media antics, right? Which will frame very well on his behalf, because as they say, real G's move in silence. You can't get away with some of the stuff he's doing, right? He'll make you look completely stupid, and also he's gonna have the narrative because he has a million videos to prove it. All you're gonna do is you're gonna look mad on your Instagram, right? He has a million videos to prove it, right? He has a video of him feeding the homeless. He's on the flight. He's landing. He's driving. He shows up there. He's trying to sneak in. He's got your baby mom. He got everything. I said to him, I said, you're like a content creator. Like, nothing happens unless it's on camera. Like, nothing, you know how they say, all right, supposedly, everything with him is on camera, and he got the footage, and it's going up on his Instagram, and it's going to get tons of views, and it's going to be talked about. The only thing is that, two things. It's not that, if you beef with this kid, you're going to look stupid because, like, how he uses social media to, like, frame everything. But he does have some real appeal behind him when it comes to New York.
Absolutely.
Right? And that also gives him the real foundation that people just don't look at him to be like, oh, this guy's just a complete fraud.
Right.
But, and this is my last point, because I said this to him with the Chicago thing. I said, my man, you're taking risks.
Yeah.
Like, you're taking risk doing that. You're taking a lot of risk with some of the things you're doing when you don't need to take them. Like, you do have a baby mother as well. You have a daughter. You have a mother. You have brothers. You have cousins. You have friends, family that care about you. If something happens to you, what do they do?
Yeah. Or
what
them.
do they do?
Or them.
Right? You know what I mean? So I do believe, like, at this point, he shouldn't be taking as much risks. And you made a point before, like, what's after this? Like, you beef with the Chicago niggas now.
Yeah.
If you escape this, who do you beef with next? Trump? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Who else?
But,
who else are you going to beef with?
I really view Tekashi, and this is my final things on it, like, I really view Tekashi as, like, you know when you and your homies, like, you joking, and, like, you just get one of your homies really, really mad. Like, that's how he does people. It's like, he can get you mad, and every joke you say to him after that, he's like, I don't care. Like, look at you, like, you're dying, you're over here mad, you want to fight, like, he just keeps antagonizing you to take you to that point. But it's a very dangerous game he's playing because, like you said, with all of this family, people can access other people's family members as well. And it just doesn't pay for what he's trying to be, which is an artist.
The only what I do look at that is that I honestly looked at when he had issues with other New York artists. I'm like, all right, this is like home base. Yeah. I truly believe, like, when he's beefing with people in LA and Houston and Minnesota or like Chicago.
Damn, he's beefing with every fucking body.
Again, I do believe he cannot go to those places and do shows.
Yeah.
And that does hurt him monetarily, which maybe he probably makes up with it for his image now being bigger and he could get other deals. But I don't believe, and I think this is why he has like a safety net. Like when he comes to New York, he's good.
Yeah.
He's not good there though. So he can't do shows there, and it's probably a less likelihood that those guys could come and do something to him here. But you never know. You never know.
I'm just tired of all this shit. I want to hear some music. Like, can we just? My thing with him is like, man, I just want to talk about music, man. All this other stupid shit going on. The baby mothers, the homies, the disrespect.
All right, but let me ask you a question though. And you know what? The comparison to 50 Cent then has like me thinking. I'm like, shit. When like 50 did, like how much really was, like when 50 popped off, how much did we focus on the music as opposed to 50 was beefing like a mother?
But the music was just
50
as good.
got
The music
classic.
was
I got a classic album.
Yeah. So we know the first album classic. Massacre was good.
Very good.
You get
It
me?
wasn't classic, but it was very good.
And from there, he was still beef. Like he continued.
He what?
The beef at some point. So if we're doing it as like this is the equation, right? How much is it music versus controversy and beef? It was pretty much all music at first, right? From
Well,
the
50
mass.
for 50?
Yeah, for the mass perspective. Even
Yeah.
though he always had beef. He had beef.
Yeah.
But then
But his
as
shit was
time went
real
on,
street.
but as time went on, people saw it was like, damn, 50 always got an issue. And even when the music kind of, we'll say, declined a little bit, the beef was always what kept us entertained.
But
I'm
still-
wondering, maybe this thing is from New York, even though it's from Brooklyn. He just said, man, this side of Queens niggas get down. Let's bring beefing back to hip hop.
But even now, look, with that being said, see, 50's shit, he got shot 9 times. He had a tragedy happen to him. He got shot 9 times, one in his mouth. Like, his beef came from some real street shit. Then with his music, he used his beef to kind of fuel his music. And then with all of that being said, he still put out a great fucking album that's classic, with Get Rich or Die Trying, that's forever remembered, we'll never forget it. And then he still put out music. Even with all of that shit, when he still was beefing with people, he still was dropping mixtapes. Every time he would beef with somebody, he dropped a mixtape. When he beefed with Fat Joe and he put Fat Joe on the cover of the mixtape, he still had music. We're getting like one Tekashi song every now and then, but we're not getting more music. 50 had more music than he had problems. It's just that he used the problems as a narrative within the music.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the scary thing about this all, right? It's literally been 6-7 months since he's popped off. So he's given a good amount of music for 6-7 months, right? Since he popped off. It's just that we look at how things are escalating and how fast it's going. Every 2 days, there's another storyline. By the time we return on Monday, there's gonna be another storyline.
Because everybody's tuned in into what you said, the basketball players and everything. Everybody's rolling dice on like, yo, nah, somebody's gonna do something to him now. Something has to happen to him now. And one thing that he's smart with is his precautions, because he's very precautionary. Like he as far as how he moves around. Like I seen a dude from Chicago. They said it was Tato's father. I don't know if it was or not, but he was like, yo, he got all y'all mad. He's running around. He's doing that to antagonize y'all, but he's doing shit like helping the children and the people. He's winning the hearts of the people while y'all all trying to catch him and you not. He's like, he has security detail. Of course he does. Every major artist is gonna have security detail. Cause listen, anybody would be foolish to think that he's not rolling around with some sort of armed security in Chicago. Cause every time they pulling up and they see him, they like, oh nah, we can't pull up over there. Because he's not stupid. He said it, he tweeted this shit or he wrote it as a caption. I'm not stupid. He doesn't want to die, but he's just doing enough to get motherfuckers mad and protect himself, right? But my thing is, what the fuck is the music?
Yeah.
We've never had a music Tekashi.
Yeah, you just can't compare it to 50's run.
Yeah,
like what he
can't.
established at the time is just not the same. Even if he's pulling from his
if we could
beefing
compare what
strategy.
he attempted to do to what 50 did do to Rick Ross, bro, you can't execute it right if the kids ain't there. Okay, and I'm not co-signing that type of behavior at all, but I look at it, I'm like, the thing, that's why Ross could never, if you don't know Ross and that particular baby mother, her name's Tia Kemp, he's not cool with her. You know why? You brought my kids to hang out with my enemy.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're not together, so you could do what you want. If you want to go hang out with my enemy, fine. But if you brought my children around that motherfucker, he's rubbing my kids all in the head, now you have almost altered the relationship between my son and myself because you have done that.
All right, and Ross won. You know how Ross won? With music. Because he dropped Teflon Don, dropped an incredible album, had hit records. After every people tried to poke every type of hole at him.
Okay, publicly, right? So publicly, he won in that sense. But if you think about, and that's why real street shit would probably happen, right? Between Ross and 50, like, Ross's relationship with his son and baby mama is still fucked up. Like, they argue every 3 days on Instagram. You know why? Ross still has that same energy.
Right.
Since
But 50
2008,
lost.
I'm not fucking with you.
50 lost like a $9 million lawsuit too.
You're right.
Right. So nobody. I mean, honestly, we were all entertained and nobody really won. You know what I mean, like nobody. But I'm talking about in terms of the music. In terms of the music aspect, because 50 had the song Tia Told Me. He had a few songs. Lloyd Banks made a song at Ross. All of that. Rick Ross won with the music. because everybody thought that his credibility was going to be so shot. Wait a second. They thought his credibility was going to be so shot that he would never bounce back. And he put together a great album with Teflon Don and had street singles that smashed. And then people forgot about everything that 50 said about Ross ever because he won with the music. So we got to just take it to music.
You're right with that. Only thing with this, these niggas not rapping, but I would say, when y'all put out a diss track, please? Like, that shit would do well on the charts.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They're probably not.
Right.
That's the point. It's just all going to be on Instagram Live back and forth. All right, we got to go soon, but real quick. So, new J-Rock album is coming this weekend. Redemption, his first project since 2015. And, of course, Nas's project, 7 tracks, Good Music Project, is coming out tomorrow as well. So homework for the weekend so we could talk about those on Monday. But Are you guys excited? I'm excited to hear this J-Rock project.
Yeah, I'm really excited about J-Rock's project. I call him the TDE Titan all the time, you know. But the reason why is because I can remember as far back as being on MySpace and seeing J.
The fuck?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember as far back as being on MySpace, the first time I ever seen J-Rock, I think he was in like Lil Wayne's top 8. And because he had a record with Lil Wayne.
Who was in your top 8, man? Yo, we gotta dig it up,
no,
yo.
My
Chops!
My top 8 was all Rockefeller people.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, Rockefeller was still relevant at the
Okay.
time, so my shit was all Rockefeller people, and I was in a lot of Rockefeller people's top 8. But he was projected to be the biggest artist out of TDE. Like, they had more expectations for him early on than Kendrick. And then, you know, Kendrick came up, Schoolboy came up. Even Ab-Soul had a little bit more of a run than SZA comes.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I wouldn't say they forgot about J-Rock, but to me, J-Rock is one of the most lyrical artists on TDE. You know, after Kendrick.
That's a fact.
And it's good to see him finally get like his major debut. I went to the championship TDE tour. He had his own set. Kendrick brought him back out. He got the record King's Dead with Future.
Yeah.
This has been a really good year for him, which a lot of people thought that he wouldn't because he's kind of overshadowed a bit by the superstars he's around.
Yeah, but TDE, again, they do such a great job of making sure everyone gets their turn.
Yeah, they
And
get
it's
their
clearly
turn.
his turn. So he has also the Road to Redemption docuseries out.
Oh, that's going to be hard.
So you can check that out so we can talk
And
about it.
Nas, oh, I can't wait for this. Because, you know, I've known Nas for a few years now. He's been telling me his album was done for a while. But
Oh,
this
it has?
7 tracks?
But it's not this one. Like,
Okay, so he has more.
It's definitely more. I mean, being around Nas in the past, like, couple years, I got a chance to hear, like, maybe only 2 records.
Okay.
And they was dope, but I think that this is going to be a whole new direction for him. You know, this is going to be a whole
Completely
new
different from Life is Good or picking up where that left off or what?
I think it's going to be completely different. I think it's going to be, for Nas, you know, he always has some sort of narrative on what's going on in the world. I think Life is Good was really personal for him.
Yeah.
Right now, he's already established that life is good. Now it's time for him to just talk about some real shit, and I think that's what it's going to be. Also with insane flows and
I'm excited
metaphors
to hear
and all
what
types
Nas
of
got to
shit.
say in 2018.
Yep.
I do believe that Nas always takes time to kind of give a little like State of the Union type of joint, like where we at, his view on things, and just like put it in a broader perspective, and just kind of even looking at a couple of these tracks on the track list, Not for Radio, Adam and Eve, and Simple Things. I feel like he'll kind of get into that. Again, I'm not too sure what album you're talking about, but I do believe that he'll probably have a nice, like a nice message, or at least like if he's addressing, I don't know if he's addressing the culture or if he's just like putting out a track just because he's fucking rapping.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear that though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited to hear that.
I never really like subscribed to the track list thing. Like, you know how people just see a track list and they like, oh, this
Yeah,
must
so like
be.
we could see it, but it just
But
doesn't
I
tell us.
really, like when I see Cops and I Can Explain, like that rings out to me because Cops, we got to think about everything that's been going on. And Nas has never been apologetic and always been upfront and direct about social issues, specifically like in the hood. And Cops, I think this is just me guessing. That's going to be one of them joints, you know.
All right, cool. All right, so both of those drop tomorrow. Of course, we'll be back on Monday, and another episode of our weekly podcast is going to be out tomorrow, Friday, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Hope you have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
See you Monday.
Facts.
Ack will be wearing black, y'all.